Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Okay. I don't know if you can hear any feedback. Hold on, guys. I'm still learning, guys. Bear with me. Okay. I don't know if you can hear any feedback. Okay. I turned everything off. Hey, everybody. It's Angel from Halo Inspirations. We give you inspirations to help you spread beauty and joy through your quilting journey. Happy hump day. Whoop, whoop. Happy Wednesday to each of you. Yes, I'm coming here live from the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. I'm sitting in my parents' basement, so the lighting's a little off. This isn't our normal kind of thing, but we are here and alive and well. I'm going to switch if I look over, hey there, Mary. Hello, Michael. Hello, Sherry. Hey, yeah. Hey, welcome you're in Pennsylvania too. Now, I'm not sure where Waynesboro is because you know Pennsylvania, right? There's a whole bunch of things going on. Let me know if you can still hear me because I did some adjusting and I'm using a new software and I'm a little bit, I feel like I'm a fish in water and I don't know what I'm doing. So let me know if you can still hear me. It's doing something odd. Yeah, and it might be the connection. Remember, we might actually have a connection issue. Hello, Miss Dawn. Let me know, though, as we continue. Can you understand me? It's all crackly. I actually experienced that. I'm going to try and do something in the middle of this. Here we go. Let me know if this helps. Okay, I don't know. Let me go back because I don't want crackly. Crackly is not good. It still says I am. Oh, now you might not be able to hear me. Okay, I changed the microphone. I just need to know if y'all can, if it's less crackly. I can't control it. Yeah, it's really crackly. I am so sorry. It's better? Okay, it's getting better. It's good now. Okay. All right. It's a lot better. Okay, good now. Okay, what I had to do is remove my external microphone. You know, there's a whole bunch being in the middle, and Shelly will, sounds like you're underwater. Sherry, tell me if it's, or Shelly, tell me if it's any better. But you would know if you're in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, and it went back. Okay. Okay. Good. Here we go again. Listen, y'all, I'm really trying, but being in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania makes it a little difficult because the internet's not the same. But yeah, this is exciting. If it's back now, haha. Okay, good. All right, listen. I've missed y'all. We were supposed to do this last week, and we are here now this week. And I don't know how long I'll be able to stay because I also noticed that my screen's not centered. But we're gonna run with this. We're gonna keep going. It is what it is. I am using a new software at the same time that we're in the middle of nowhere. We were supposed to be gone last week. I did a happy hour inside our private group on Saturday, and it went pretty well, even though we were in the middle of a storm. Chambersburg, I know exactly where you are. My mom and dad used to live in Shippensburg, and I have an uncle who lives in Chambersburg. Up 81, yeah, nice area, beautiful area. Oh, Shelly, so beautiful. That's the one thing about it. It is very, very pretty. Yeah, Mary, you're laughing. Now, when I look over and down, it's because that's where all the comments are, and I'm using a different screen. I don't want you to think I'm not looking at you because I am looking at you. But I have missed y'all. I'm so sorry that we weren't able to do that last week. And going forward, I'm still here in Pennsylvania. I live in Virginia. It's about anywhere between, depending on traffic, because I go through DC, It's anywhere between, for me, 6 to, oh gosh, it has taken me 12 hours once, but that's not normal. It's usually about 6 to 8 hours of a drive. Um, it is so pretty here, Mary. You're absolutely right. Um, so I'm not in my normal, and I wanted to come out and I wanted to make sure that I'm still connecting with you guys. And Shelly, you're from Virginia too? Oh my geez. Where are you from? In Virginia. Now, I'm not born and raised there. I was actually born in Pennsylvania, Indiana, Pennsylvania, the sweet home of Jimmy Stewart. And it's, my grandparents were there. My grandma still, she lives there. I have uncles, aunts, cousins. My mom is one of 12, so I have 32 cousins, I think, on the first level. We have, I think, 3 generations. Michael, you'll have to, being on live, I'm all of a sudden drawing a blank. So, or if my mom's here, I don't know if she's here or not, but we have a lot of cousins. My grandparents had a huge family, and I'm very blessed with that. I love my family. They've taught me a lot. Yeah, 12, one of 12. She is one of 12. Yeah. And my grandparents are amazing. Absolutely amazing. And my aunts and my uncles and my sweet cousins. Now, my dad was military, so I didn't get to live a long time in Pennsylvania. We traveled around the world and spent a lot of time in different places in the United States and in overseas. And I wouldn't take that back for anything either. I've had a good life, plain and simple. I've been very blessed. I'm blessed with a great family, and I'm blessed with a great life. And yeah. So, at any rate, I'm in here in this basement. And, if you look at this picture, now there's a delay, so I don't know what when I move. You were born in Charlottesville and you lived in Fort Royal, Strasburg, Winchester areas. Oh, I love that area. I absolutely love that area. Not only is it picturesque, is that the right word? Very beautiful to look out into as you're driving down 81, but it also has some really neat things about it that are very unique to its area. And I have an uncle and an aunt that live in Winchester, so very dear to my heart. Now, Shelly, when I'm in Virginia, my husband, yes, the Skyline Drive, absolutely. Oh, it's so nice to talk to somebody who actually knows what that is. um, my husband was also military, and we traveled around the world in the United States also, but we planted our roots at the end in Virginia. But I'm sitting about 5 miles outside of Virginia in between Williamsburg and Richmond. So I'm a little down the 64 corridor towards Virginia Beach and all that. So I'm south. I'm south in Virginia. That's where I live at the current time. Now we're working on moving to Kansas City, where my husband was born and raised. And literally, I mean, I met him in college, so he was born and raised in Kansas City, and we're trying to move there. I'm going to miss, yeah, Shelly, isn't it awesome? I'm going to miss the weather, number one, and the history, number two, because there's so much history. And I miss the beach. I love going to the Outer Banks. I love going down. I'm not a big favor of the tourist season during the summer down in Virginia Beach area, but I love, love, love the ocean. It's very calming and very inspiring. So it'll be different, but it'll be a well worth trip. And the weather is cold in the winter and hot in the summer in Kansas City, but that's where we're trying to go, the middle of the United States, and it'll be good for everybody, including you guys, when we get there. So, at any rate, not too far from Missouri Star. Gotta love that. she'll be about 45 minutes from, or they will be about 45 minutes from where we're looking at living, and maybe even less, because we're looking at living on the outside, getting some land, and putting a lot of homes on there so we all can be together. It is the city of fountains. Very well put. You know, Mary, what I'll do, I don't know when I'm going to be able to get to Kansas City, and maybe I'll have my husband do it because he's going in May to Kansas City. My daughter turns 25, and he's going up there on Mother's Day weekend. But he's going there they're going to the Savannah Bananas. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but it is, if you ever have a Savannah Banana game, it's a baseball type environment, but it's, the Savannah Bananas actually are all about the experience and not necessarily the game. So they're going to a game that sold out. They were able to get tickets, so he's going up there. I'll see if I can get him to take some pictures, because you're 100% correct, Mary. It is the city of fountains, and there's so much to see and so much to do there. And what is his name? Hold on, give me a second. We had a president that's out of Independence, which is one of the suburbs of Kansas City. Michael, do you remember? Because we went to the museum when you were there. It starts with a T. President's name starts with a T. It's not Trump. Oh, I forget his name. You want a tour? Okay. You got it, girl. We'll do it. We'll do it. Because it's always, you can find so much inspiration in quilting in every area of the United States. I mean, the one thing about us, I know that we have followers and you can find inspiration from other countries too. Don't even get me wrong. Oh my geez, there are places that I want to go. I've been overseas, I've lived overseas, and I've seen a lot of things, but there's so many more places that I want to go and see. But the United States, because of its size, I mean, you've got mountains, you've got desert, you've got cities, you've got everything. Anything and everything that you want to experience, you can inside the United States. No, not Taft. It's more frequent. Not Taft. But it does start with T. Oh my gosh, what is his name? I feel like such a weirdo. When it comes to me, I'll let you know. It's another T, but it's later. It's like much later. I think he was president in the 70s. Don't quote me on that. I think it was the 70s. But anyway, so this picture right here, that is the Alps, and I don't know where my parents got this painting, but it was definitely while we were living in Germany. I want to say it's near Neuschwanstein. I think this is the Alps, and we skied in the Alps while I was little, and that's part of our travels. Beautiful painting, absolutely beautiful. And that area of Neuschwanstein Castle, and for those of you who are not sure what Neuschwanstein Castle is, they are out of not Australia, but Austria, which is the border of Germany and Austria. And it is what Cinderella's castle from Disney is actually mocked, it's a replica of the Neuschwanstein Castle. But I think this is I think this painting is in that area of Austria and Germany. You are in Jersey. Prue, I've been wondering where you've been, because you actually, hello to all cherubs. I love it, Prue. I've been wondering where you're from, actually, because when you talk, I actually thought you were English. I mean, like, we email back and forth, and I get the impression that you have an English descent of some sort. Truman! Mary! Woohoo! You get a gold star today. Yes, Harry S. Truman. That is it. And he was born, I believe he was born in Independence, but I definitely know he had a home there, and you can go and visit his home while he lived there. And I took my son, and I think Tam was with us too. I think Tam went, and Michael's childhood best friend. So Harry S. Truman, that is it. That is it. I do believe that he is the one that is out of Independence, Missouri, which is right outside of Kansas City. It's one of the suburbs. Very well. Whoop, whoop. Way to go, Mary. Thank you. And he was president during the 70s, because I actually was at the White House in the 70s, and I wanted to know where. No, it wasn't him. Wasn't him. There's somebody else I was looking for when I was there. Oh goodness. Look, my history is failing me. And I'm a history buff. I love history. And I got to tell you guys, I don't like memorizing dates, times, all that stuff. I like the stories. Y'all know that if you have been along with it, y'all know that I really enjoy the stories of the quilts. That's why I love history. I love the stories that we find in history. And I'm really excited when we get to lift off our quilt along, or I'm sorry, our sew along. It's not a quilt along, we're doing a sew along. And I'll explain what I think is the difference, because that word is actually interchanged a lot. But when we release it, I'll explain what I mean by the difference. Yeah, see, thank you, Mary. I'm so embarrassed. I am so embarrassed. Oh my gosh, if any of y'all from outside the United States, you're going to be like, this woman does not know her own history. No, you're absolutely right, Mary. Thank you. Oh, and of course, being live, I'm a little, you get put on the spot, and sometimes you just don't get it together. And I did not have it together. Thank you, Mary, for keeping me straight. Who was it that was in office in the 70s? Because his first name is Jimmy. Jim, isn't it? Ow. You can't remember either, Shelley? Yeah, I can't remember. I really struggle with dates, but it's those stories. It is those stories that help. Some of the stories that you get out of history are absolutely amazing. And the same with quilts. They actually do a lot for the quilt. It makes a connection with you. It helps you make that connection and understand the quilt better, or the quilt maker, or the quilt receiver. And the stories are amazing. I love stories. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Mary. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. Okay, I do want to share a couple of things with you guys. So we did a mega block. We did the mega block quilt a few weeks ago, sometime last month. And I got to share with you, first of all, the mega block that I chose to give information about on the size of the pieces and how to make it is actually the double sawtooth star. And I'm going to show you, some of our cherubs actually have created one, and I just thought it was amazing. Just thought it was amazing. But what I want to show you, this is a double sawtooth star. Now remember, I don't have my extra camera here in Pennsylvania. If I have to go home quickly and come back, I'm going to grab it so I can show you. But this is a double sawtooth, and this is done in all Lori Holt fabric. The prints are flea market. This is flea market fabric, and the background is cross-stitch brown. Okay, so I've made one of these with Lori Holt's for Riley Blake Designs. That's what that is. That's the same quilt that we did for the Mega Block. It's the same pattern. I just blew it up and gave you all the measurements. You can do so much with this block. You really can. It's one of my favorites because it's got a star, and actually we have two, right? So when I did it, y'all saw I did it with unicorn fabric, and that was for my beautiful granddaughter, Emma Grace. I love that name. Her mama picked a beautiful name. That is absolutely a beautiful name. But that was designed for her because she really likes unicorns. So when I get that quilted, I'm going to send it to her. Right now it's still a quilt top, but there are some other individuals within the Cherub community that actually made their own double sawtooth. So I'm going to pull this over. I'm going to pull these up, I hope. A couple of these. Okay, so we have Cindy. Cindy, man. Okay, so the story behind Cindy, if I understand correctly, and Cindy, if you're, I know you're not here right now, but if you watch the replay, let me know if I have it wrong. But from my understanding, and all these people gave me permission, which I absolutely love. If you make something, it doesn't even matter if I created the pattern. I do like to share because it inspires me and to see what people do. But if you make anything and you want me to share it, let me know, because that's where we're going to go with this live event. I want to share inspiration with you to give you more ideas and inspire you. So the story behind Cindy's double sawtooth mega block, the mega quilt, from my understanding, she picks up a little girl from school every day. So, I don't know if it's a friend of the family or, how that all works, but she does pick up this little girl, and she had a birthday that came up. So she was, Cindy was trying to figure out what exactly she was going to do for her birthday, and she saw this quilt, and the little girl absolutely loves Olaf, from Frozen, the little snowman. He's so super cute. So I'm going to share this this quilt with you. Okay, so that's the quilt. I'm guessing, and now right now I want to tell you I can't see your comments, so I'm going to come back because I can't. I'm on a different screen, so I can't see what you're saying. But I want you to notice. Oh, here. There we go. In that quilt, she did the mega block, the double sawtooth mega block, which turned into a quilt. But what I love about it is she even did a border that was pieced with various colors to enhance it. But what you'll see is that's Olaf in the fabrics. And, you got to love it. You got to absolutely love it. But she went out and beyond, and she's made pillows. Down at the bottom, I think that's a bag. I don't know if they put the quilt in there or if, what exactly she did, but now she has an Olaf bag. And then she has that Olaf pillow over there on the left side. Super cute. And what I thought it was really cool, she even pieced her backing. Seriously, guys. And I love it because for me, I don't know if this was intentional. I haven't talked to Cindy on the phone or anything. Unfortunately, I haven't had a lot been, here in Pennsylvania. So I haven't had a lot of extra time I really like to connect with you guys when you share. But it looks like a square and a square on the back. So basically what we're getting is two quilts with the same one. And she quilted it, got it bound, got it pieced, and gifted. I mean, this is so fun because that's the whole idea was those aren't fabrics that I would pick when I did my granddaughters for me. Oh no, not going to happen. I like flea market for me, right? For my home. But the idea was that she took something and she made it designed in the idea of what her little girl that she goes and picks up every day and be able to do that. Now, I don't know, and Mary's in here, but Mary made one too, and I absolutely, for me, if when y'all get to know me better, for those of you who are new, red, white, and blue, I'm very patriotic. Very, very patriotic. I love the colors of red, white, and blue. For those of you who are French, you love red, white, and blue too. But I'm very, very big on patriotism. And Mary actually shared with us her double sawtooth mega quilt. Listen, y'all, look at that fabric. What I really like about this is, and I hope y'all can see what I'm seeing. I really do. This is a new platform for me, so I'm trying to learn. So if there's something going on, I should probably go check. Let me go check. You have 5 granddaughters, Shelly. Holy moly. You are blessed. You are absolutely blessed. Yeah. Right, Dawn? You love how the back came out. Shelly, it does, but it's a double sawtooth. And I have to look at the Missouri Star quilt pattern. I will look at that later. But it's an actual pattern, and it's all about the colors that you do. What you're going to turn into, and you're going to see it again later with me in the future. But this was blown up. I can't remember I think it's like 48, and Mary, you'll have to correct me, but I think it's 48 by 48 is what it finishes at, I think, if my memory serves me correctly. So this is like, it's a quilt in itself. And what I really, really enjoyed, besides the colors, right? I love the print that she used with the Liberty Bell and, all the American symbolization. But when she chose her polka dots, who doesn't love polka dots? But the polka dots they're big. And it really matched well with the size of the pattern. You can use little ones, and you still could if you do the, I keep wanting to make sure you can use smaller polka dots, but doing that she did something bigger actually matched the size, because this is not a block. Like this one. It's not a block. It is a block, but it's the whole quilt. And you can do this with any block. You can make it bigger. You just have to figure out the math. But I really, really enjoyed the size of her polka dots. Love it. Now, I got to ask you, Mary, now that you're here, design elements. Absolutely. Is that paprika? Is that Kona fabric? And is it paprika? Or is it like a dark red? Is it got another name? I'm really curious about the color of red that you use, because I want to use it in the future. And you actually wanted the fine line red and white stripes. But you couldn't find it. That would have been really cool. I like what you did. I love this quilt. I absolutely love this quilt. I'm just curious. A dark maroon. Okay. Is it Kona? Because I carry Kona in the shop, and I know I have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo. No, I don't think I have indigo. I have blue and purple. But I'm always looking at colors to hold in the shop. I have to buy them, small pieces at a time. But I'm really curious if it's Kona, and if you could tell me, even if you send me an email, if you could tell me what color that is, because I love that red. No, it's not Kona. Okay. try to match it myself with a Kona fabric. That is absolutely beautiful. Now, I know that when Mary emailed me, if you'll see the green and yellow stripe on the sides, that's actually another quilt underneath. And I'm going to show that in just a second too, but that's not part of the quilt, just so y'all know. But Mary, you did a great job. I mean, yeah, very pretty. You did a fantabulous job. You weren't crazy about Mary, all fabric frays. They all fray. Did you starch it? That's a dilemma. I know that's like a quilting debate, but did you did you starch it? And if you look, I starch all my fabric. Down here, I don't know if you can see it, but there is definitely some fraying. Oh, and you could see it over here, that's for sure. You can see it over there. All fabric frays, you just don't want to handle it a whole bunch. And once it's in a quilt, ain't nobody gonna know no different, right? It's okay. You did a good job. And so did Cindy. I love the Olaf theme because she really designed that for her, the little girl that she picks up every day. I love this. And for me, Mary, the color is amazing. The size of your dots was amazing. You did a good job. You did an absolutely good job. So let me switch back. Let me turn that off. Okay. Why didn't it go away? Because I got the wrong one. Okay. Remember, I'm working with a new software, guys. So there we go. Oh, and I got Mary still, or Cindy still showing up. It'll get better, I promise. I'll get better at this, and eventually my son and I will live together, and he'll handle all this, so I won't have to do it at the same time. But the other pattern, was that all? Yeah. The other pattern that I shared, that I did, and there's been a really cool thing. I've seen people make pillows out of it. Now, they didn't share it with me, so I caught it on some other groups. I probably should have contacted them and asked them if I could share their pillow, because that would have been really cool. Because you could have taken, with the shamrock quilt that I shared, the pattern for that, some people have turned it into a pillow. They took one shamrock and made the one clover section and made that a pillow, which is so cool. That is so cool. But Mary actually did a shamrock quilt. Here we go, guys. Look at this. Seriously. And you can, and the quilting that she chose, because there's a lot of negative space. Now I'm here pointing. I wish, eventually I'm going to get a cursor in here. So when I talk about stuff and I'm pointing, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. But her quilting motifs that she chose were awesome. But what I really, really love, besides the color choices, because it made it really different than what I did, and very, I love that she used prints, but I love that border. I love the border that goes with this. It actually, and for me, I'm not from Ireland. I'm from the United States, but for me, it just gave truth to an Irish type setting. It just really did. And I love, love, love this quilt. Love it. Love that border. Love what she's done with her color variations. Yeah. I just can't say enough about this quilt. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And this is a smaller quilt too. I don't know the size of this one. Between 48 and 55. I don't remember exactly what it finishes at. I probably should memorize some of this, but I don't. Yeah, that's gorgeous. So let me go back. Let me make sure. What are the comments? Oh, you just earned it, Mary? Well, I will tell you, it's a debate. You don't have to starch, but what I find with starching, it helps a little bit, not a lot, but just a little with fraying. Hey there, Kit Kat, or Kathy. Yeah, it is pretty, isn't it? You do too, Shelly? You like to starch your fabric? I do too. I'm a starcher, and I did a video on it because I thought it was important. Now, I'm actually going to redo some other videos that are much older, and I didn't have a quilt shop at the time, and I really want to show you with some of those videos, I really want to give you some more technique and ideas to deal with it. The gold was some fat quarters. I had that shamrock fabric from a long time, and that was all I had of it. Well, Mary, it turned out I love this. I love this quilt. I absolutely love this quilt. My mom does too. Both of the quilts. All of the quilts. So far we've had Cindy and we've had Mary. And I got to tell you, so I've been with my mom here in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. And, I share with her when I get something, because I got to talk to somebody who understands quilting. That's the one good thing about coming to see my mom and my dad is my mom's a quilter, right? So we can talk about stuff, and you get two different perspectives. You can bat each other back and forth, and so far these were amazing. And both my mom and I absolutely love these quilts. We love, love, love. My mom really loves this quilt, Mary. This shamrock quilt, she loves it. She really loves that. You need a quilting buddy? Well, we'll be your quilting buddy, Miss Shelley. We can be your quilting buddy. All right. I got to share something else, guys. I got something else to share. Okay. Let me go back to my other thing here. All right. Let me turn this off. Thank you, Miss Mary, for sharing. What an inspiration. Oh, where are you? What an inspiration that this has been. Yeah, I've got all kinds of stuff y'all can see. I'm trying to figure it out. Okay. So, the last video that dropped was, and I don't have it, I gave it to my mom, just so y'all know, the rectangular minx quilting. I did that very small wall hanging. Very, very small. And it had a little chicken in it. My mom loves chickens. So I went ahead and gave that to her. And I have a second one because that's the one I built with you on the video. So I'm going to get that done for myself. Just so it's in my stash of things to talk about in the future. I have plenty of quilts like that. Y'all know how it is. But that rectangle was very much inspired by Prue, who I've just learned comes from New Jersey. Or Jersey. Wait a minute. You said Jersey. You didn't say New Jersey. Oh, I got to go back and look. Hold on, guys. Let me go back. You said Jersey in the Channel Islands. Okay. Prue, if you're still here, you didn't say New Jersey. You said Jersey. So where is the Channel Islands? Now, if she's not still here, I'm going to go look this up. I'm so going to go look this up. Because I feel like, like I said earlier, when I talked to her through emails, I feel like she's got like an English descent, or she's from somewhere that speaks, UK English. But I got to tell you, okay, so we did the video on the rectangular inspired by minx quilting, and I showed you how to do it by machine. That's why I hid the back. That's why I put a backing on it, because it doesn't look the same as hand piecing. You can do it, it just doesn't look the same, and you could be missing points and different things like that. Well, in the video, before I go there, so the rectangle was all Prue. So she actually emailed me and she said, I really want to do a rectangle shape. Can you help me with the math? So I did. I sat down with it, took pictures as I was going along, sent them to her. We communicated back and forth. And I really thought it would be a great idea to share it in a video for other people who want to do something other than a log cabin, which is authentically from the Isle of Man, from the Manx people. That is what they did. That's the authentic side, but we can be inspired by that. So I wanted to share. So I did. But in the video, I actually made a comment about how you can use any shape as long as it has straight edges. So you can do, actually, you could probably do circles too, or curves, but that's a whole nother thing, right? All right. So straight edges makes it really easy. And I talked about doing like hexagons, triangles, and I really got inspired by diamonds. And I thought, well, in the future, I may share with you a Manx quilting inspired pattern using diamonds because, you know, diamonds are a girl's best friend, right? And who doesn't love diamonds? So Prue heard that because I shared her rectangular shaped quilt that she made by hand. She does all hand stitching and she's super fast. Well, she heard it and decided to make her own. So I wanted to share with you different processes and then the final. She decided to try her hand at doing a wall hanging for it. Oh, y'all, I can't wait. Okay. So which picture is this? Okay, so this is one of the diamonds. This is doing a diamond by itself. Oh, I wish I had a cursor because I'm pointing. I'm like, woo, you know. But that's what it looks like by itself. And I got to tell you, number one, I love the fabric choice. Who doesn't love reds and pinks and flowers, especially since we're on the brink of spring? And when I looked at this, this was one block, super gorgeous. And remember, with Manx quilting, everything's folded. So it has some dimension to it. I just thought to myself, what a great quilt by itself. You could do like a really big one, whether it's a wall hanging or a pillow, but just one diamond. That is gorgeous by itself. Now, she decided to do a wall hanging. So this was a second step that she shared with me. And you could, I wish I had a cursor. So you can see a lot of these. I don't think at this time that they're joined together. They're just laid. But you have to have, look, you got triangles on the edges on top of it. And then she's, you know, that white one with the center piece of pink and black fabric. It's up on the top right. That's her beginnings. And you can see the folds for her backing fabric that she's using to get it done. Now she is a hand stitcher. And I got to tell you, I think she got it done in a day or two. I mean, she is so fast, is amazing. But this is the second step. And it's interesting because, like I said, you have the diamonds, and then for the outside to complete the rectangle, you have to do triangles too. And it's absolutely awesome to see what she's doing here. And once you understand the concept of doing a Manx quilt, any shape is open to you at all. I mean, every shape that has straight lines you can do. You just have to figure out how big you want the center and go from there, or how big you want the quilt. I mean, the block. So if you wanted your blocks to be 8 by 10 or 8 by 8, you can do it. You just have to figure out what that center is going to be. And so she had to figure that out. And once you go from there, it's the same process that you do a log cabin a rectangle, any shape at all. It's the same process. You just have to pick how big you want your center. And I think she did a phenomenal job. Now let's look at her final wall hanging. I don't know which one it is. There it is. Okay, here we are. That is her final wall hanging. And if you'll notice at the top, she actually has her straps done so she can hang it on a bar. Prue, that's gorgeous. And it totally gives me understanding the history behind Manx quilting and the story behind it, and understanding what you did with a complete new shape. This touches my heart. I mean, that is so cool. And it is very inspiring, at least to me. And I hope for others who are interested in making something of their own. You can do a wall hanging, and look at these diamonds. And I mean, it's just gorgeous. And you could do any fabric you want. Using fat quarters is actually very beneficial because all the coloring is, all the matching of fabrics and the color variations make it very easy. You can just use a fat quarter bundle and make one of these of your own very simply. If you love the color, you go for it. I think this is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me go back and see. Yeah. Yes, so that is Manx quilting. Oh, there you go, Prue. It's a little island just below England. It's only 9 by 5 miles wide. Oh my gosh, that's tiny. I thought so because when you email, I can tell how you write. And I got to tell you, some of your words I had to look up. I had to get a definition for. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm glad that we've made this connection. And you sharing your quilts has been such a joy. And I hope that people who watch with us here on Halo Inspirations channel will see just as much as I do with the inspiration. It is awesome that you did the diamonds. Absolutely awesome. And what a treasure to put on your wall of your home so that you can enjoy it too. And man, Prue, and I like to call you Prue because I know your name is, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it English, American English so much, but we would say Prudence, right? But I like Prue because it reminds me of that television show with the three witches, Charmed. One of the sisters was Prue, and I liked Prue. So, at any rate, Bath, England. Wow, you love that part of the world. Very cool, Mary. Very cool. Yeah, England is a beautiful place, and I've had a lot of experience with English people. We've traveled around the world, and we've actually hosted different people to come to the United States that do business. We've hosted them in our homes, and there's just something really special. Now, there's different parts of England with their different types of personalities and their different types of humor, but we've always enjoyed it. So I'm so glad that we've connected, Prue. I really have. And your quilt is gorgeous. It's absolutely 100% gorgeous and very inspiring. So I can't wait to start mine for the diamonds. And we'll have to chit chat more about it later through email, but because maybe you can give me some ideas of where you ran into, trying to process what you were going to do, because you did a fantabulous job. And I think the world needs a little bit of diamonds in their life, and we can do it by Manx inspired quilting. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Prue. Seriously, I can't even tell you. moved my heart. So, absolutely. At any rate, besides, that was the main thing that I really wanted to share is all these quilts, because I wanted you to be able to see, okay, with the double sawtooth, I really wanted you, and the shamrocks, how you can take those patterns and make them your own and inspire you on that level. And of course, that backing too, how piece backing works and how you can get 2 quilts, because I don't typically do that. So when somebody else does, I always want to share, because it's brilliant, right? But then last month, I think, I also did a video on homemade spray basting and showing you how I did it. And I had that little square of fabric that was, I used polyester, 100% polyester fabric. Now, I wish I had my other camera, because I think it would work better to show you this. But when you use homemade spray basting, the idea is that you use a natural fiber, silk, wool, cotton, right? All those fibers, 100% of natural fiber. It works best with that. Now, you can use 80/20, which I did. I have that quilt here. I actually finished it, so I'm going to kind of show it. Because, I've got a little bitty screen here. But I also, if you watch the video, I had that little square where I was just doing that 100% polyester batting with 2 pieces of fabric that were 100% cotton. And I wanted to see, because they all say you can't use it. So I wanted to know. That's part of what I get to do. I get to say, okay, you tell me no, but I want to know what it does so I can tell others. Let me tell you right now, do not use homemade spray based with 100% synthetic fibers. Now, I say that there's 2 parts, but let me just show you what I have. So this is the block. Okay, it was just an 8x10, and I only did one side. Okay, but this batting is 100% polyester. There's no natural to it. It's all synthetic. And if you watch in that video, I sprayed the dickens out of it. Listen, this was soppy wet. So the glue should have stuck, right? Well, let me show you. I'm hoping. Here, let me switch camera so I can tell what you can see. Okay. Look. See how it does? There are parts that did stick. Okay? There are parts. It is sticking there, but it doesn't stick completely. This is another one. Okay? So imagine, and what's really interesting is I can tell that this has been homemade spray based. I can feel the homemade spray based in the fabric. This was completely coated heavily. So it should have stuck. It really should have, okay? But it didn't. So I do not recommend that you use homemade spray based with synthetic fibers. And I can pull it. The one thing about it is temporary, right? It's just flour, rubbing alcohol or vodka, salt, and water, right? It's like making Elmer's school glue. That's what it's like. So it should have stuck much better, and it would have if it was a natural fiber. So I wanted to show you guys what happened out of that little experiment, and I do not recommend it. Now, I will tell you, we do carry another synthetic batting made by Quilter's Dream, and it's called Dream Angel. Yeah, I'm partial to it. Yes, the name, my name's Angel. It's Angel. Yes, don't get me wrong. I love Angel. But that fabric is flame retardant. So if you make a quilt, they actually did a test on it and they lit it on fire, and they put, they had like a piece of cotton fabric on top. They had Dream Angel as the batting and a piece of cotton on the bottom, and they lit it on fire. And I wish they had a video of it, because that would be so cool. But what happened was everything on top of the batting was charred, gone, fried, burned away. Everything on bottom was still intact. Okay. An amazing thing. And it feels, I hope one day, we do this internet thing, and it's so cool that we can have this conversation and be in different parts of the world and different places. But I would hope one day we can have smell, that we can smell through the internet and feeling, because what that batting, it looks and feels like cotton. It is awesome. I love that batting. What I'm going to do is another test with that batting, because it's different synthetics. It's not polyester. Polyester is highly flammable. Okay. I want to know what homemade spray base does to that, because it's just a little different chemical makeup. I don't know, but I will definitely experiment, and I will share it with you in the future. Let me go back so I can read comments. Yeah. So I wanted to give you an update on that. And then there's two more things I want to say before I go, because we've been here an hour. I did get what I used for the homemade spray base, that quilt. Man, this has been a long UFO. It's over 2 years old. Okay. And I'm sorry I don't have my regular camera set up to show you this, but I did get it done. It is quilted. And y'all watched me baste it with the homemade spray base. Now I used I'm moving it too fast. I'm sorry. I did use 80-20 batting. Okay. I did quilt it on my domestic, not on my long arm. That was a new thing for me, because I haven't done it in so long. So it was good practice. And I have it bound. The only thing, and I have it washed. That's why it's crinkly. But the only thing I have to do, a lot of people do this and a lot of people don't. This is another quilting thing. Some people do, some people don't. I do my mitered corners, and I did this complete binding by machine. But what I do is I actually hand stitch the corners, the openness of it. I hand stitch those closed, and I haven't done that yet. I brought it to Pennsylvania when I came to see my mom and dad to help them out. I got quilting bling all over the place. I got threads I got to cut. I did bring it because I plan on finishing those corners, but that's it. I just do it closed so that when they don't catch on something, they last a little longer. I do hand stitch them, the little corner closed, but it's done, guys. And this was homemade spray based. Okay. This is the one in the video. Let me hold it up for just a second, because I know y'all like to see it. And I'll hold up some of the backing. Yes. Not all my stars were perfect, because like I said, it was a complete practice run. But a beautiful, thank you, Dawn. Appreciate it. You have a beautiful lighthouse on your island. Maybe you could make a landscape quilt of it. Oh, Mary. Lighthouses are one of my favorites too. I don't know if you really like them, Mary or Prue, because she has one, but I have a collection of lighthouses. Oh, I got so much. We got so much to share with each other. But you love it, pretty. Thank you, Shelley. This is not very big. I did this as a video. It's string pieced. This is completely string pieced, and I used foundation paper. And I'm making another one for my son in purples. and black, of course. But for the this is actually, all the blacks are actually the center. What I really like about this is you don't have to line up seams. You just sew. So I'm making another one, but it'll be bigger because this one was just to get an idea for you guys to know how to string piece, and to know that it's just, you could do this scrappy, you can do it all kinds of ways, and it's string piecing is beautiful. You love lighthouses. Yeah, I do too. I do too. I have a whole collection. It sits in my sunroom. My mom has painted me. My mom's a painter. My mom's an artist, and in a lot of ways. And she did a painting for me. I'll share with it when I get back to my house and my own home. I'll share different things with you guys as inspiration, because you're absolutely right, Mary. She could so make, or you can do your own landscape quilt using a lighthouse. You have a talent with the landscape quilting. I've seen it. Is it Deborah? I always forget her name. With Our Time to Quilt, you've got a real talent doing that kind of stuff. I like larger size blocks. These blocks are only 7x7 for this string piecing. They're 7-inch squared for this quilt. The pieces are 1.5-inch strips. Or no, they're not even 1.5. They're 1.25. Because I took jelly roll and cut it in half. So that's a 2.5-inch strip. So I cut it in half, so that's 1.25-inch strips. I do not like 3-inch squares. Like if you're doing a 9-patch. Yeah, I'm not a small person. I really like the medium. For me personally, if I do a quilt, I like anywhere between 6 and 8. That's my go-to. But when I'm teaching, if I do a pattern, I do like to make it just a little bigger, because the bigger is easier than the small. So we can always work with math. We can always make things smaller or bigger. But to get certain techniques or to do a pattern, some people just want to be able to sit down, cut it, and sew it, and not have to worry about all the small things. So I tend to do larger blocks just for teaching purposes. So, well, thank you, Miss Mary. Some of them do. Some of them it's just about teaching. But thank you, Miss Mary. It's very kind. But that's what I have for today. Now, I will tell you, and keep chatting, because I'm here, guys. For now, I can see y'all's chat pretty much on time. I don't think there's a delay with the chat. There's just a delay with me with the video. I think the chat is, and my son, who is my tech guy, he can definitely, help me with the idea. I think it's pretty live with the chat. Next week, I wanted to be able to drop a video, but because I don't have the same camera set up, it's not going to happen. I'm working on it though, and I'm trying, but all of us are trying to figure out how we're going to do this, because I know I'm going to go home here at one point. It really depends on a lot of factors, whether I go home for a short time and then come back for a short time, or if I'm just going to stay and then go back like Sunday or Monday. There's a lot of elements, and I will tell you that, there was an event that happened where I had to come home to help my mom and my dad. A little bump in the road with a medical thing. Y'all know I'm a nurse. I'm an RN, and I'm very partial to privacy. So if you email me, I don't share unless you give me permission. And I know a lot of times I don't need the permission, but it's it's the nurse in me that says it's not my story. And, everything is nothing huge, or, we didn't have a heart attack. We're not going through a stroke. We're not, in a major car accident, and, life is on the brink. It's nothing huge, but it's enough to put a little bump in the road. And it's not my story to tell, so I'm not going to, go into depth with it, because it's just not my story. But I will say everything's looking great. We are moving forward, and everything that happens is dependent on when I get to go home. So there's a lot of wheels in action. And when I do get to go home, everything will go back to a little bit more normal. But in the meantime, we kind of have some hiccups. And I know that I've gotten a lot of you have replied to me or sent me messages that said, we get it. When you're able, you'll be here. And I can't even tell you how much I appreciate that. But that's, I expect that from the quilting community, because we are quilters and everything we do comes from here, and we share with the world. And we have stories beyond stories that touch people and touch our history in ways that no other industry really does. And so, although I expected it, I didn't think that I would get, I know that that's what you're thinking. That's the expectation. But to have y'all tell me and share your warmth and generosity and your kindness that so much of the quilting community does, I just want to say thank you. And we are working on it, trying to get things a little bit more smooth. So know in the background we are working, and everything will come together. It will. Everything is figure outable. I've been saying that since, not those terms specifically. I used to say everything will work out. Everything always does. We are blessed in that way. But the everything figure outable comes from Marie Forleo. She wrote a book on it, and it's exactly the term that needs to be used. Everything is figure outable. I'm just so blessed to have people like you who have been very supportive and understanding. So you are strong on HIPAA laws. High five to you. Yeah, it doesn't seem to exist here. But, oh, it does. It does, Mary. And know that I will always be that person to support privacy, even if it isn't medically related. It's all about, it's not my story. When it's my story, I'll share it. But if it's not my story, I won't. So, next week will not be a video drop. You will see a little gap again, but we are working on a project, and it's a no-sew project. Another one of those, and it's Easter related. So my goal is to have it to you in 2 weeks, one way or the other. No matter where I'm at in the world, we can do this. And I want to show you how to do it. I'm working out the kinks right now, because there's some kinks. And, oh, okay, where you live. Well, shame on them, Mary. Tell them to call me. I'll give them a word. But we're working on it, and my goal, well, not just mine, all of us here at Halo, our goal is to have it for you in 2 weeks. And fingers crossed, we might be doing a live on both Facebook and YouTube at the same time for any quilting questions and answers. The Q&A that we like to do after a video drop. I don't know if it'll happen, but it's definitely a goal to do both platforms. So no matter where you are, we can connect and we can chit chat and talk about the project if you have questions, and talk about anything else related to our community, right? I'm actually, and I'd like your feedback. I'm going to let you go here in just a second, but I really like your feedback. So I drop videos on Wednesdays, and I really like Wednesdays, guys. It's middle of the week. There's not a ton of people that do postings on Wednesdays with quilting. So, you know, you don't have to pick and choose where you're going to watch. Of course, you can always watch the reruns, but if you want to be on live, you don't have to pick and choose. You know, generally, there's a few people out there that do Wednesdays, but not a lot. And then, but the thing I'm concerned about is, coming up in the future, I want to know from you. When I drop a video on Wednesday, we do a live Q&A on the same day on Wednesday at 3 my time, Eastern time in the United States. Do you think that's a good thing to do it the same day? Or would you prefer that we waited maybe till Thursday to do the live Q&A, or even Friday? So my question for you is, we drop a video on Wednesday, we do a live Q&A that afternoon. Would you like to keep it that way? Or would you prefer to have the live Q&A Thursday or Friday? You tell me. Live Q&A, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What is your preference? Mary, thank you for sharing your day with me. I so appreciate this. And that's what we do as quilters, right? We talk quilting. We're social. We're very social. But at any rate, let me know your feedback, whether you're now or whether you're watching the hashtag replay. Let me know what your feelings are, because we can always change how we do things based on your preference. It's all about you guys. We are here for you. We are here to inspire you. And in some ways, I think it'd be better for you to be able to watch the video, because the videos aren't live, right, normally. So you can watch them at night, you can watch them the next morning, you can watch them at different times. And if you haven't watched it, it's hard to do a live Q&A. That was just my thoughts, but I don't know how you feel. So let me know. Okay, you like it the same day because you start working on projects afterwards. Okay, thank you for your input, Mary. I really appreciate y'all sharing that. Yeah, me too, Mary. I'm slow too. Just so you know. But that's all I have for today. So I will see you. I will be on Creative Kingdom in our private Facebook group. I'm still planning on doing a happy hour on Saturday, 3 my time, normal stuff on Saturday. That is the goal. So look forward to seeing you if you are in Creative Kingdom. If you're not there, I will say it is a private Facebook group, and you can join the kingdom at any time. The way to get to keys to the kingdom is to hit the join button, and you got to answer 3 questions. I'm so far right now, I'm the only one, because we have a database, because the questions that are out there I actually use to help me build content. So it's important that you answer those 3. If you don't answer all 3, there's no keys for you. I hate saying that, but it's all about keeping that group safe. And I need to know who you are and what you're about, and that you are not a scammer or somebody trying to get in to get some private information. So you got to answer the 3 questions, and then you'll get the keys to the kingdom. But it would be fine if you changed the chit chat time. Okay, we'll talk more, Mary, but thank you for your input. I do absolutely love it. Love, love, love. Okay, so you can join our group. That's how. The link is in the description box. Click on the link if you're a Facebooker. Join the group and answer 3 questions. You'll get the keys. And this Saturday, we will be on happy hour, 3 p.m. Eastern time in the United States. Hope to see you all there. I will see the rest of you folk in YouTube in 2 weeks. we'll drop that video. Come do or die, I'm going to drop something. Even if I come back on for a live, we're going to do something in 2 weeks for sure. And then you can also check out the Instagram page. I'm, doing, got some ideas on some more posting of some projects and different inspiration for you guys and let you know what's going on. But yeah, that's all we got. Thank you all for stopping by. I love y'all. And I appreciate everything, the difference that you make in the world by spreading your beauty and joy. I really, truly do. Quilters are amazing. Sewers are amazing. And you truly do make this place a better place. You make a difference in our world by bringing that joy and that happiness and touching people right here and making your place in history. It's a reality that I truly do feel, and I cannot say thank you enough. So until we see each other again, until next time, may you all continue to be inspired, productive, ever so joyful. Never stop believing, and never stop making your dreams in quilting come true. I love y'all. Happy Wednesday. Whoop, whoop. Happy hump day. Whoop, whoop. And happy quilting. See y'all soon.